All right,
Like
well,
400 maybe?
we
Like
are
maybe 30 of them
live.
I'm gonna dance.
You do a little dancey dance. A dancey dance.
All right. In a second here, like people aren't in yet. It takes them a second, but they'll start flooding in. Oh, oh my god. Oh, hello. Hi everybody. That was way faster than normal. Okay, typically there's a trickle in, but you guys just all decided to show up. Hello. Hi. This is Theo and his podcast. Today we're doing a podcast. I got a really awesome crew here. I got Scarlet Raven over here. Good old Scar. And then we got Mr. X Factor Blood Monkey joining us for this one as well. Y'all want to say hi?
How you doing?
Hello.
All right. So at some point, we're going to have some serious subject matter to talk about. What's the month again, Scarlet? What month is it?
Well, I can't really say it because we discussed not saying
Yeah,
this.
so it's a Unalive Awareness
Month?
month, for those of you who get it, wink, wink, point, point. And we're going to talk about some heavy things and hopefully help some people along the way. But before that, y'all were just telling me about some crazy stories. Scarlet, you said that you got arrested 6 times in a day?
I'm trying to pull up chat, but I'll do that in a second. So I have an associate's in criminal justice, and every year they do this program. I can't remember the program at the top of my head, but like my college did a program where there's high schools and they could study. It's kind of like a STEM program, and STEM's like for engineering and mathematics and stuff. So it's a program, but for criminal justice. So people who wanting to be a police officer, investigator, anything like that. So this program, we had a bunch of high schoolers come in, and they asked the college students who wanted to be volunteers. They needed a male and a female. And we had to act like we were getting pulled over, so I was put in cuffs. I got cuffs put on me about 6 times, and I got searched about 6 times. It was great. I didn't have anything on me. It was on the other dude.
Oh my gosh.
We had to do the whole put your hands up, stick your hands out the window, and I'm like, sir, I can't put my hand, like, you have to unlock it from the outside. I was like, I can't, because the car we were using was busted.
I can't reach. It's too far.
I can't reach. No, it was the door was broken, and I couldn't open it from the outside, but like I had to sit there for like this for a good 10 minutes because some officers were correcting the high schooler, so I was like, just gonna stay here. It's great.
A tail?
Having fun. Arm's not dying yet.
You see, you're one of those really nice people. I could never imagine you being in a position where you'd be in the back of a police car.
Mine wasn't a school experience.
Did you want to try to?
I got a warning once, and I cried.
I'm sure you did.
I'm not gonna try and tell my story because it was real and something will happen. I ain't doing it.
Okay, I got one for y'all. This is the only time I have ever been pulled over in my life. You guys ready for this story?
Oh my god.
I used to drive a red maroon SUV, right? So you can picture it in your head. Beautiful spring day. I'm driving to college, not a care in the world, just having a good time driving down the road, about to get to class. The breeze is blowing in through the windows. Beautiful day, windows open, not thinking too much of it. The next thing I know, bam, something hits me in the face out of nowhere. Like, I kind of get stunned for a second, and I'm looking around trying to figure out what's going on. I look down in my lap, and I see a honeybee doing the same thing that I am, trying to gather himself. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then, I admit, I made my mistake. I backhanded that guy to the ground. And as soon as I did, I wanted to apologize because I realized that was a problem. He then begins to fly at me, and he flies up my short pant leg, and he is now in my shorts underneath my leg while I'm trying to operate a motor vehicle, right? So he comes up, I squeeze my pant leg as tight as possible, he stings me. And I was like, oh! Meanwhile, I'm trying not to swerve off the road, right? While I'm having this battle, I look into my rear view mirror, and I see the red and blue lights behind me. And I'm like, oh no, you've got to be kidding. That was right where the school was. And so like the officer follows me into the parking lot. I'm sitting there, adrenaline's going 1,000 heartbeats per minute. I'm freaking out. I'm worried. I roll down my window. He walks up to me and goes, son, do you know why I pulled you over today? me in my panic attack goes, "You know what, officer? I'm not entirely sure why." And he goes, "Son, are you playing games with me?" I'm like, "Officer, you don't understand. You just let me explain." He's like, "Do you know how fast you were going?"
I was having the fight of my life in this car, officer. I swear, it was flying right at me. I didn't know what to do.
I was like, "Officer, let me explain." And he's like, "Do you know how fast you were going?" I was like, "Officer, if I could just explain." That was a 15-mile-an-hour back there. You were going at least 35 and swerving all over the road. I'm like, "Officer, please." And he's like, "You're probably just some punk kid late to class who's just trying to make it, who's going to be nothing in his life, huh?" I'm like, "Officer, I just got stung by a bee." He's like looking at me and seeing how like I'm like having a panic attack, and he's like, "Hold on." He walks back to his cop car and like starts like running my plates to make sure nothing sketchy is going on. He probably even radioed in to like his team and be like, "Yo, I got this guy saying he got stung by a bee." Anyways, I'm sitting there kind of like having a panic, like still like trying to calm myself down because I'm about to get a ticket for all of this nonsense. He eventually walks back up to my window and he's like, "Well, kid, I'm gonna have to write you a ticket because there's no excuse for speeding in this zone." I'm like, "Officer, let me show you what I'm talking about." So I had to like try to open my door, but he wouldn't move. So I was like hitting this police officer with my door, trying to get out.
Bam, bam.
I open it up, I step out, I open my pant leg, the bee falls out, I pull out the stinger and I show it to him. He looks at it and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I thought you were lying." At that moment, he rips up the ticket.
Allergy. He scared him to death. I swear. He was just like, "Keep that away from me, son. You better keep that 10 feet. I don't need that near me. I'm not having an allergic reaction right now. You're free to go. Get out. Go. Here's your stuff. Keep driving."
Yep. He ripped up the ticket. He's like, "I'm so sorry about that. You have a wonderful day," and got out of there as fast as possible.
I would have made
Like,
me.
this is awkward.
That's just me, though.
He's like, "I don't know what to do." This...
That was the first and last time I ever got pulled over, and it was ridiculous.
There's a spider in my room. Speaking of spiders,
Oh
did y'all
my
know
God.
that spiders are like robots?
No,
I was
really.
talking about this earlier, but he wanted to save it for the podcast. So technically, in the way of an arachnid or a spider, they can bend their arms in like we can with their muscles. We can bend our arms in. They can bend their legs in. When a spider dies, how it curls up is because all the moisture in their body it dries up and disappears. Now, they can't move their arm out. They can't extend their leg. They can't do any of that normally because we have muscles and they don't. What they do is they use a hydraulic system like ants and other small insects do in some cases. They use a hydraulic system and push water and air through their leg to extend it outwards to climb and grow and everything. This was found out recently. There's been a study as well. Some scientists will take a small needle or piece of metal and poke it in the back, in the spinal area or the abdomen of the spider, of a diseased spider, and will push slight amounts of air out through the body, and it'll extend the legs out, and then they'll drop it down and grab something and then suck the air back. It's like a claw machine. It's like a small little, like 2-centimeter claw game.
Air balloon.
No, we are not making
claw.
We are not making claw machines with spiders. We are not going to do that, okay?
Oh, come on.
The people with
They can grab
arachnophobia.
sponges. They can grab quarters. Other dead spiders. That's about it. I don't know what else they tested it with, but they can grab something.
Oh my gosh.
Sim said it's the
Now
new
you-
toy in the Little Shop of Horrors. The spider claw.
I want to make that into a keychain.
No!
Take like a little old school like, keychain and take out the glass, put a spider in there and just epoxy it in there and be like, "You're stuck now, boy." And put it on there, just wiggle it around.
That sounds so awful.
Hey, really quick, is there any chance I can do a shout out?
Yeah, 100%. Go for it.
My mother is in the chat.
Oh no.
Hi, Mom!
Hi, Mom. Hello.
She said, "Howdy,
Scarlet's
y'all
mom,
sound
is your
like
name Ruby? Do they go by color spectrum in the family? Is your name Ruby? Wait. Yeah, okay. I had to make sure that it didn't say Sapphire and it said Scarlet. I was making sure I was making the right color joke. Wait, that sounds...
Yo, we love family here in the chat.
Never mind. Don't wait. I didn't mean it like that. We're talking red. Like carrots. Or blood.
Yo.
I swear.
Okay.
I can feel that, woman. You calm down with them fingers of yours. My fucking ears, man.
So we run a podcast. Blood Monkey, I don't know how it is that you ain't making content. You need to be making content, bro. You are an absolute hoot and a riot.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I don't know if y'all noticed,
that?
but I'm gonna put you on notice. You gotta know who this guy is, right? He is wild. Do you have a TikTok at all? Can people follow you?
Yeah, I have a TikTok in there. It's called Cedar Family VRC. I haven't made anything because I don't really know how, but I have wanted to get into it and do some stuff, and you two kind of helped me figure that out later, so I might start messing around and doing that.
100%.
And figuring that out.
And this is Scarlet Raven. Go follow Scarlet Raven on TikTok. She's a good time and a riot as well. Hoo ha, hoo ha. So, anything else y'all want to hit, or should we start jumping into some questions?
I mean, I'd love to smack my neighbor. Oh, you meant question-wise. Never mind, my bad. Sorry, I thought you were asking physically. I want to smack the hell out of him. He's annoying.
My gosh.
He keeps messing with my dog.
What is he doing?
It's annoying, man. I don't know. He keeps feeding it. He's fat now.
You're mad at your neighbor because he keeps feeding your dog, and now your dog's fat.
Well, it's not like normal food. He'll go and get lunch and like come home from work. He'll have like McDonald's or Wendy's or something, and whatever's left, he just chucks it over my fence for my dog to eat.
His dog's going to McDonald's.
No, he works every day. He barks at everybody else, and then when he comes in, he barks at you because you didn't let him in fast enough, and he was outside for too long. Because he wants to be an inside dog, but he's taller than most people. Dude's massive. But no, he'll take like McDonald's or Wendy's or something and just chuck it over my 8-foot fence because this little dude can jump. I'll tell you, he could dunk on somebody if he was human. But he'll just chuck it over the fence and he'll eat it, and it won't like. I'm more scared that it's going to end up having something in it that's going to hurt him more than it's him feeding him, because I don't know the dude. He just newly moved in here like a week ago. And he's been doing it every day, and he's been gaining a lot of weight, and I don't know if there's anything in the burgers or not, or whatever he's throwing over, so I'm kind of more scared about his health than his fatness. Like, he's happy being that fat. I know it, because he wobbles like a penguin, but I don't know, I just don't want him to like, oh, another burger, thanks, Matt, and eats it, and then he just dies because of poisoning or something. I don't know. That's what I'm more worried about.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, TikTok. You like a Southern man so far?
Yo, you are hecka Southern. That's what's going on right here. But yeah, no, I've never had neighbors like that. I did have a neighbor. She was, okay, old Asian lady. So, got to be respectful of the old Asian ladies out there. She had a little tiny dog, one of those little toys, right? And he would bark at 100%. At everything. And it's like, all right, it's whatever. He's cool. Like, little dog, he's yapping. But like, I was out talking to her on the street one day, and she was giving the dog a walk, and I wanted to go pet him. I was like, okay, maybe if he gets familiar with me, knows my scent, he's not going to be barking the whole time. So, like, I'm, like, trying to get down and pet the dog. Meanwhile, she's going like, oh, no. And I'm like, what do you mean, no? And she's like, oh, no. And I was like, it's fine. I'm just going to go pet your dog. And, like, I go to pet him, and he tries to take a chunk out of my finger. He tries to bite my finger off. I was like, oh, you're just a little monster.
Time I had something like that happen. Last time I had something like that happen, it was a chicken.
A chicken?
Little dogs are mean, though.
You have no idea how vicious those birds are, bro. You, like, put your finger near them, and they're like, oh, it's a worm, and they just go for it. They don't question it. Why is it hard? Why is it bleeding? Why is there a bone in here? No, they just want to eat it, dude. It hurt. Like, they bite hard for something without teeth.
Oh my god.
I'd rather be bit on my butt by 12 more geese than fight a freaking chicken again.
I'm sure.
Then again, it might have pissed him off. I kind of smelled like chicken from earlier in the day.
I'm sure every time you go to KFC, you revel in it. You just bite extra hard just to get him back.
Like, yeah, you suffer. I bring home the bucket, put it in his den, and be like, "That's your cousin right there."
You best remember this for later.
Geese are just cobra chickens. Yo, for real. 10 foot tall and bulletproof, 100%. I'm 100%. Yeah, 100. Probably more bulletproof than 10 foot tall. I mean, I've got 4 feet under, but I mean, I've been shot. It's hurts.
Yo, place your bets. Place your bets right now. Where is Blood Monkey from? If you were to guess anywhere in America, where do you think Blood Monkey is from? Place your bets. Put it right now in chat.
If somebody says that I sound like a state, I'm marking that on a tally.
Yo,
it's the yeehaw. What's your favorite games?
Yo,
that's a good one. Right now, I'm really addicted to Grounded, to be honest, with the animals and being shrunk down. Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I've been having a lot of fun with them, and their new updates as well, with the wasps being out and the new infected broodmother being in the haze. Me and my boys have been, messing around. That's the word I was looking for. PG. Messing around on there all the time and having a lot of fun, making a lot of stuff, building new bases, making each other mad because we keep robbing each other for no reason whatsoever. We just like taking stuff, mainly from the British one. My buddy Alex, he's a raccoon. I don't know what he is, but we just take stuff from him all the time.
Wait, you're stealing from the British? That's like history, but in reverse.
Technically, I'm stealing from the raccoon that stole my garbage in the first place, so it's kind of the same, but like different. He's actually in the chat. I just saw his name a minute ago.
Oh my god!
Hopper.
Charlie says you're from Alabama.
Yeah, you got an Alabama.
Alabama. No. I have family in Alabama, but I am not from Alabama. What about you, Scarlet? What's your favorite game?
One of the games I've been playing a lot is Cult of the Lambs.
Oh, I got a bro who's super about that game. He loves it.
I played it before. I like it pretty well.
It looks cute. It looks cute. But not really. It's about a cult. And then I just got done playing Subnautica earlier, so that's another one I'm playing.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Hold on, wait. Tracy said North Carolina. No, I almost went to North Carolina for a Marine Corps boot camp, or North or South, one of the two. I forget where it was. But I'm not from North Carolina either. I'll give y'all a hint. I'm more towards the center of the states.
If that helps at all.
What about you, Theo? What's your favorite game, bud?
My favorite game is unfortunately Rocket League. I play way too much Rocket League.
Good. Dude, I play that stuff all the time. But, Tran, you all right? I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I do not live there, though. But I am originally a Texan boy.
You can hear it.
Really quick, back to the Rocket League. My partner plays that all the time. And he tried getting me into it, and he's so high ranked up, I can't.
Yep.
No,
that's what it is.
The highest I've gotten is Diamond, and then my little brother started messing up, and it kind of messed up my rank, and then we kind of stopped playing.
When I had time,
in a while, but
when I had time to play whenever I wanted to, like this is like pandemic, and everyone was staying home, I got into the top 1.8% of Rocket League players in the world.
Oh,
I was top 2%. Oh, I play that game too much. It's an unhealthy addiction at this point. It's an unhealthy addiction.
I'm glad that I'm never going to run into you ever on that game because I swear, if I see your name pop up, I'm just leaving the match. I'm not doing that. No, thanks.
Yep.
No, thank you.
So, really quick, I do have a question about Rocket League. Is it hard to play, like, find other people to play the game with?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Sometimes I would say it depends on your console and who you run into, because there's a lot of people that just turn chat off for everybody else. So even if you were like, hey, you want to team up and game later, they just won't hear you or won't see it. There's a lot of people that just think of themselves and don't want to help anybody else. Like, I've been trying to do the red body challenges and quests to get assists, and everybody I've ran into just, like, specifically will see that I'm doing it, or I'll mention it, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll help you out. and then they'll double tap the ball so it takes out the assist. I would say it more depend. Yeah, it's annoying, but it more depends on the community as well. Because like Fortnite and Rocket League are two games that are fully consisted of tryhards, and I don't mean like tryhards, but I mean like people that try way harder than they are, and they stress over it, and they try to be better than everybody else. Other than the ones that actually are hard workers and do really well and take their time and grow. So they just kind of push everybody behind and throw themselves ahead of you, which those aren't the people you want to deal with, because if you've got a quest that you need goals or points or anything like that, they're kind of just like, no, my time to shine, my spotlight, you stay in the dark. Yeah. This is my stage.
It's a team game if you're playing 2s or 3s, and you really got to find teammates who know how to like be in rotation and how to pass the ball. The biggest thing to look for when you're looking for a Rocket League partner is somebody who knows where to be. Like, even if they're bad, but they know where to be and they know how to work as a team, those are the things you're looking for. The problem is everybody is a solo carry. Everyone's like, oh, I have to do everything myself, and they're jumping at balls that they shouldn't, and they're not rotating properly, and it's so frustrating.
Excuse me. Yeah, he is accurate on that as well. A lot of people just go for the ball, and even if you have the ball like set and you're ready to play it into the goal, they'll run up and take it or snatch it, or they'll knock you out of the way and it'll mess up the shot because they want all the glory and it's just bad. Like me personally, I'm mainly a goalie main. I'll stay back, and so my buddy Alex. My buddy Alex actually has a lot of problems with this. My little brother Caleb, he is a solo carry. And anything that doesn't go his way, most of the time he'll complain and get mad at. And it makes Alex mad, so he'll just stay back at the goal and just goal the best he can. And while Caleb's up there just missing shots and he's getting angry and getting annoyed, and then Alex will just hop off because he doesn't want to hear it, because it starts with him doing well and Caleb not liking it, and then Caleb not doing well and Caleb not liking it. So it turns into a whole thing. But 2 and 3s are very interesting. I'd say 2's your best bet if you're trying to find a good teammate or a couple of them. 3s are a bit more complicated because you get mixed with more than just your console. Like most of the time with 2s, I get thrown in with Xbox. That's what I play. I get thrown in with Xbox players that can help me out if they're on the other team or on my team, so I can talk to them. 3s are a bit more complicated. I run into a bit more PlayStation and PC people, Nintendo. 4 is just chaotic. 4v4 is named chaos for a reason, and it's like as fun as it is to have me, Alex, and my 2 little brothers playing. It's chaos. It's just it's annoying.
But then they got those fun games like Rumble, where you get like all these like power ups while you're playing, and it's just silly and fun. And those are the cool stuff. Or like Spike Ball, where it's like football, where it's like you're trying to like carry it around people because you got spikes on your car and you get to hold it. That kind of stuff's fun.
It's so much fun. I like the extra modes the most, especially Snow Day. I don't know why. I just really like the fact of hockey. But Rumble, the best way I can explain Rumble for the people that don't know what Rumble is on Rocket League, it's basically Mario Kart power-ups just locked in a container. You just run around and hit people with boots. You punch the ball with a glove. You can spawn a tornado. You can grapple hook to the ball and fly to it. You can freeze the ball in place. Or like Theo said, you can spike ball it. Spikes will form on your car. The ball will stick to your car. But if you get touched or the ball gets touched at all, ball falls off and you lose the ball.
So question for you guys. Donk said this in the chat. She likes Roblox. Did you ever play Roblox? Because I've never played that game. Not even a single time.
Dude, I still play Roblox. What you mean? I'm a 20-year-old man. I still play Roblox. Dude, I still play Terraria and Minecraft.
Coming back.
The fact of it being, I have so much fun on Roblox. Like, I used to play this game called Blox Fruits. It's a one-piece game on Roblox. You could have a one-piece power fruit and run around and just be OP, and I got incredibly strong on that. And then it turned into a combo game, and if you don't know the right combos, you just get put in the dirt and just trashed on. And these, like, kids, these 11-year-old kids are just saying the most wannabe hurtful stuff. You're garbage. Get off the game. You know, whatever it is. And I'm just like, dude, I don't even care enough to try in this. I just want to be a giant tiger or shoot fire from my hands. Like, come on. But my favorite game on Roblox right now is slap battles. You get different hands, different powered hands like Thanos or bricks or something like that, and you just slap people all day, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Never played it, but so many people who
great
play
time saver.
VR chat like evolved from Roblox. Like Roblox was like their hookup when it came to internet games, and now it's like VR chat. Am I wrong in saying that?
That's crazy.
You got to call me out in this podcast, Theo. How many times? Really? Because I started Roblox, and then I heard about this from Roblox. Some kid mentioned it. He was like, okay, I'm dipping. This game sucks. I'm going to go play VR chat. And I was like, what's that? So I researched it. This is around the time that it first came out, first released. And I was like, okay, this seems fun. Got on it, regretted it almost within 2 hours. And then it's just kind of evolved from there to where, like, first match, Rocket League, first public instance of the day, and it's just randomness, some kid running around or something, and it's just like, okay, private world, let's go. I'm done. I'm good.
Yo, one thing I've been throwing these game nights with like TikTokers and stuff, and they're taking me to all these cool worlds that I didn't know existed. There are like 1,000 amazing games in VR chat that like I've never heard of before. Like we were in like some like temple game the other night where it's like you had chests and it's like you're like trying to lie to each other. It's almost like Among Us. Some people want to open the gold chests, some people want to open the fire chests. But like you have to lie the entire time to say which ones you have and which ones you don't. And it's a total mind game. Like I've never even heard of that before. And there are 1,000 of those here in VR chat. And I really think a lot of them aren't even going noticed because everybody's in a black cat every single time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I did come across...
Donk is a Siege girly. Nice. Siege is a good game. I like Siege a lot, too.
What is Siege? Fill me in.
Rainbow Six Siege, it's more of a... It's like a different version of... I don't want to say Call of Duty, but it's another first-person shooter game with a lot more different classes and styles, different people you can play as. I don't play it myself. My buddy Alex plays it a lot more than I do.
Oh, I got you. I thought
Tran has
it
a
was
question for you, Theo.
What's it got? What you got, Tran? What you got for me?
Oh, while we're waiting for that,
Yeah.
I also want to point out that Sim is having a conversation with my mom about dinner.
Yeah, the chicken enchilada with ranch style beans. Like, I'll be honest, you're making me hungry. You got to stop that.
Yo,
you can't.
did you bring enough for everybody?
Dude, when she cooks for a whole family. My grandfather has 6 brothers, 6 sisters, and like she cooks for everybody. So there's plenty of food to go around.
Yo, 100%. When am I coming over? You want me to go now? I can leave.
We ain't even gotten to the main part yet, and you want to dip enchiladas? I'll follow that.
All you had to say was enchiladas, and I'm
100%.
there. I'm there. Just let me know.
I'll football tackle some people for some enchiladas. I'll tell you, if they're made right, somebody's going in the dirt. And I'm gonna eat it on their body. I'll sit on them and eat it just to make fun.
Let's go. And consume me 100%. Take me to the world. I'm down. We'll hit it sometime. We'll do it for a game night. Okay, Tran, you wanted to ask me a question? I don't see a question in that.
Hold on. So,
I don't know.
Tran said, Theo, every guy always likes to flirt with me. I don't know why.
Okay, well, if you want it to stop, 100% what you can do is change your avatar. Get into a completely, like, homogenous avatar, like, be like an eraser or something. If you're just like a giant eraser, no one's gonna hit on you. You'll be fine.
No, actually, I hate to break it to you, that doesn't always work that way.
Really?
It doesn't. Yeah, no,
Theo,
there are some people.
It don't. Bro, it does not
There
at
are some
all.
people out there, if they hear a female voice, they're like, woman, I must go flirt.
You're kidding.
So for a good, like, week or two, no, I'm not. And you would get a variety of ages, too.
Oh my
The best thing that I can tell you, Tran, is I would say to put up with it. You're not going to outrun that ever. You being a female, I presume. I don't want to, assume anything bad. But people wanting to flirt with you is going to happen throughout your life. The best thing that I can tell you is just accept the flirtations, accept the compliments. It could boost your self-esteem, could boost how you feel, your confidence in a bit of way. So that helps you out. Let them down slowly and easily. Just sorry, not interested. If they keep going, that's on them. You already warned them. Let them suffer in peace and silence. help yourself boost up, but also know your worth. You don't want to drop for somebody that's much below your league. You got to know your worth, and you got to go out and get what you're worth. But if you're going to go for it, you've also got to take the hits and the roadblocks that come with it. So if some dude is one of those roadblocks and he's like, "Hey, girl, you're freaking pretty, and I'd love to take you on a date," and you like get to know him a bit, and he's not the one, just be like, "Sorry, this ain't gonna work," and just keep on going down the road and keep driving. Eventually, you'll hit that line. You'll find the person that is, knows his worth or hers. Whatever you're into, knows their worth, knows what they want, and that works for you. And then, you'll find the person.
Tangent.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry,
But hey,
I do that from time to time. I rant super easily.
if they harass you, you got a block button. Feel free to use that. If you told them no and they still pushing, just hit them with that block. You don't need that. You don't need that in your life.
100%.
And surround yourself that will have your back too.
Send the Southern. I'll take care of it. Send the Southern.
Oh my God.
I'll do it.
You don't want to
I'll deal with
release
it.
this man.
I'll do
You don't
it.
want to release him. No.
He's gonna
I
hit
know
you with
my
the
ways.
bless your heart. That's what he's gonna hit you with.
Bless your
bless
heart, buddy,
Just-
but I promise you, she don't see you the same way. Go back in the shadows, you cockroach.
Tracy said, "How often have y'all played early version games like Atari and Nintendo?"
Do you consider N64 early version games?
Nintendo
Hell
64?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's what I played.
Right?
I'd
I
say
played the
so.
Nintendo 64.
Hell. Oh, God. I remember playing Atari, Genesis, Nintendo. Oh, I still remember my Wii days. Man, do I
gosh.
miss playing Wii Sports.
Oh my
I don't know
gosh.
why. I just miss smacking the ball hard enough and watching those little beams turn around like, wow, you did that?
was
And I was like,
scary.
yeah, that's right. I did that.
Dude, I put way too much
I have a
time into
story
Wii
about
bowling.
Wii Sports.
Way too much time into Wii bowling. Me and my
right.
friends would do it every day after school. Oh, it was such a problem. It was such...
Hold on. Sim goes, tell them you're an Apache attack helicopter and start squealing at them if they won't leave you alone. Hey, girl, tell me about yourself. I can fly.
high pitch screech.
I hate to break it on the fun, but we might need to go into the heavier topics.
Zio just said,
Like
did
that
I
in
miss
podcast
blood?
is.
No, I'm still here. Blood's still here.
Yeah, that's the one.
The one and only.
Yo, Tracy. Tracy Joe, tell him about your Wii Sports, your Wii bowling. You got a story for us, Scar?
That's what I was going to talk about.
Go for it.
I do have a story.
Oh, I love
my younger
stories.
sister, I have two younger siblings. My younger brother's 2 years younger than I am. My sister's 4 years younger. And we play that game consistently. Like, the whole thing was trying to get a perfect score. Now, my sister, she was like 6. She's young, doesn't know what's going on. She's swinging that controller around. So she throws it behind her, between her legs, underneath. Perfect score.
What?
Just underneath.
What?
Perfect score.
Oh my gosh.
Above her head. Perfect score.
What?
She lays down on her back and does a belly. Perfect score.
Oh my gosh.
Like we never know how, because me and my younger brother would try doing it, and we would hit the little meat. I'm sorry, we would hit the little people behind us.
my
So we
God.
have no idea. She's
Smack
just
them beans.
God at Wii Sports. It's just crazy.
That's so crazy.
Oh my gosh. And she went up against one of my mom's friends to do it too, and he tried to copy her. Did not work.
Hey, Ken, what's up, bud? More people on my server are coming in. They're screaming my name.
Woo!
Freaking, Sim said, bruh, TF, my sister cracked my head with a baseball bat. You're lucky. Why?
What?
What did
Oh
you
my
do?
gosh. Okay,
Was it like, are you talking Wii baseball bat, or did somebody just full Babe Ruth your skull? What happened?
with the hometown slugger.
Home run.
Yo, Tran, we should play some games sometime. Heck yeah, we should get you out for a game night. 100%. Oh my god.
I gotta end up going to the game now one of these days. I
Heck yeah, you
swear.
do. You just got in the Discord, you silly goose. Little plug, if you're a content creator, come join us in the Discord. We got a game night Discord. We play games. comment on one of my posts, and I'll hit you up. Hopefully I'll see you there.
Hold on, wait. Tracy said, ouch, you didn't move out the way quick enough. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Too slow.
I heard a fast ball. I didn't know there was such a thing as fast bat.
Straight Babe Ruth home run.
Oh, no, straight Babe Ruth home run. Dang.
Ow. Oh, man.
Somebody do that to a car, it'd dent. I hope you're okay.
Seriously. Hope you recovered. Maybe that's why you started playing VR chat. We all have our reasons.
I have brain damage from this. Yeah, sure. That works. This game's giving me brain. Why are you licking my knee? Daisy, can you lay down?
I hope that's your dog.
It's okay, Dad. Yeah, I got two. Daisy's my grandma's dog. She is a 4-year-old border collie and lab mixture. And if you just heard that little turd yawn, that is Bandit. He is a golden retriever husky German shepherd mix.
Wow.
And he is almost a year old. He'll be 1 year in October. And he's also bigger than Daisy is, and she's full grown.
Nice.
Already. So,
Gotta love dogs.
yeah, he's currently staring at her. Oh, I love it. He's currently staring at her, and is probably going to attack her in here in a minute to assert dominance or love or something. I still don't know why he bites her, but she doesn't bite back, so clearly it's a dog kink. I'm not sure what's happening.
How
every
can
day,
you
but it's
see?
happening.
Don't you have a headset on right now? How can you see what's going on?
Yeah, but I also... well, first I can look through and look at everything, and I can see perfectly fine. But I can also tell with my ears and see genuinely in the dark for the most part. It's weird abilities I've had since kids, and they were boosted from Marine Corps.
Yeah, I'm sure they had a school for that. I think Charles Xavier was hosting it.
I am a mutant. I am 100% the mutant. What's your mutant power? I'm Southern. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Come over here and find out.
What can you do? Get drunk? That's what I can do. What's your special ability? I talk.
Alcoholism.
What? Exactly. Yeah, alcoholism. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
What's your favorite thing to do? Drive a truck in sand? Outrun cops? Bonfire?
Sing the national anthem.
Not that one. I don't care enough to sing. I don't know. I don't get me wrong. I love the country. That's why I joined in the first place, and I'm now a veteran, whatever the hell. And I want to go back, but they're taking their sweet time, so I don't get to now. And that, but I don't. I will never sing the anthem unless I have to. I'll salute and hat off, but I'm not gonna. And the rocket's red glare.
Okay. I got one more story for y'all, and then we'll jump into the serious stuff. Do you want to know the most
Might as well
patriotic...
throw a damn campfire down here. Give us some marshmallows.
The most patriotic moment I have ever seen in my entire life. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for the most patriotic moment I've ever seen? I was at a rodeo.
Santa shirtless driving a chopper down the highway with an American flag shooting off fireworks?
Arguably more. And listen to this. I was at a rodeo, right? Never been to a rodeo before. Didn't know what to expect. They had the bull riding. They had the horses, and they were hog tying the people. But before it started, we had the MC who was hosting the whole event, talking about it and getting everybody set to let them know what the night's going to be about. As he's doing that, he starts getting ready for us to sing the national anthem, and a singer's coming up on stage for it. And what they had as a highlight is they had a dude come from a plane, parachute down from a plane with a giant American flag hanging from him with a giant weight at the bottom. So we see this dude coming down on the flag. The guy's oh, hey, look, he's up there. Everyone's looking at it. They're cheering yeah, oh, it's so awesome. MC's kind of leading us through the night. Then as this guy's coming down, right, he's swooping left, swooping right, trying to land within the stadium. As he's about to make his approach, the weight that was holding at the bottom of the flag, bang, hits somebody who's in the stands. It hits some poor lady in the back of the head, and she does not fall gracefully.
I know it was going to be a grandma. I thought he was going to turn wrong and just take out some grandma and tackle her to the stairs.
It was a bang, bang kind of fall.
Nana.
She hits the ground immediately. Everyone around her's oh my gosh,
no.
Are you okay? And they're tending to her and everything, right? The guy on the mic then passes it off to the person who's singing the national anthem. Everyone stops. They put their hand over the heart, and the people who are helping this poor lady hear the national anthem start, and they stop helping her. They stopped helping her
Sorry,
so that
ma'am,
they could
drops her.
stand, take off their hats, and stand for the national anthem. It was the most patriotic thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
The fact of it being that I would have been, with my luck, I would have been right behind that old woman that just watched her fall and be like, oh my God. And then these dudes come to help her and just like, oh, wait, nope, it's starting. Drops her, watches her face plant again, takes off their hat, puts it over their heart, and just listens. I'd be sitting back there doing this and just try not to die of laughter. I'll tell you, we're talking about rodeo stuff. There was one time we have monster trucks down here. A couple of them have come from Monster Jam. Luckily enough, right? Because who has that funding? But there's this one. It's called Zombie Trex or something. It has like 10 seats in the back of it. People can pay, sit in it, and they'll drive around, go up some ramps and stuff. Well, something went haywire in this truck one year. So instead of going slowly up the hill, it freaking like launched up the hill, like Dukes of Hazzard in the air. And some 13-year-old kid, oh God, I feel so bad for him. He just, right through the holsters, he just went straight through and up. So the truck went a good 10 feet off the ground. He was a good 40 in the air.
Oh my gosh.
And, like, respect to his dad and the cojones on this dude, this kid's dad. This dude unbuckled his stuff, and Superman jumped out of the truck and caught his kid. And, like, almost, he was about 4 feet from hitting one of those cars, the broken down full steel cars that they crush. About 4 feet, landed on the hill and slid down. And, like, stood up and just held his kid up like Simba. Just,
Oh my God.
like, look what I did. And the kid is just crying. Because he, like, 40 feet in the air, looking down, and there's just metal and monster trucks and pure hardcore dirt. Like, your first thought is, well, I'm going home, just straight up. But his dad was just like, not today, sucker, and caught him and landed. And I was like, fuck, props to that dude.
Yeah.
But I would never, unless I knew 100% it was my kid. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. But if it's mine, I'll do it.
Yo, that is
We had a
absolutely
final
crazy.
destination.
Somebody save him. No, I'm good. I'm secure right here. Matter of fact, I'm going to tighten my stuff.
It's your kid.
Yeah, you jump. Jump in those heels. Watch him break. Try landing. Lands heel first, gets stuck in the dirt, flies out, smacks face on car. All right, enough of the story. Let's get to our questions.
Oh my
Let's get to
God.
the main part.
All right. So that was a good warm up. I hope everyone's feeling loose. Thank you so much for being here. But we're going to be making a bit of a pivot, a bit of a transition. Because one thing we really wanted to talk about were like some of the mental issues that we see people face here in VR chat. Like, all fun, all games we've had up to this point, but like one thing we wanted to do was have at least a serious moment where we can kind of open up a dialogue about some of the more dark things about VR chat and really just what it means to be human. So we got a list of questions here that kind of go along with the whole, Unalive month that's going on right now, Unalive Awareness Month. So Scarlet, if you got any questions for us, I say feel free to start them.
So unfortunately, one of the people that were going to join us, Unknown, isn't here. But I liked one of her questions. Why do we think that the amount of suicides hasn't? Oh, I said the word. My bad.
Nope, keep going.
Why we think the amount of unaliving has been increasing over the past few years?
That's a good one. In my virtual thought, throughout the years, when we were younger and we were kids, I heard a lot about this stuff, but very little, a lot less than I do now. And the fact that I'm an adult now, I have a lot more respect for my adults when I was a kid, because they more or less protected me and others from the real world problems. Like the fact that we hit 16 to 18 to 22 to 26, and everything just gets harder and harder by the year, by the month, and seemingly by the day and hour. It used to be protected from us, and we wouldn't have to deal with it because the adults would take it and dumb it down, and we'd feel all kids and, candy, rainbows, cotton candy, whatever else, and just run around with thumbs in our mouths and, rainbows and cupcakes everywhere. And then when it hit a certain point, we were like, oh, this is new, this is serious, hitting middle school and there being more fights and everybody not being able to deal with stuff and everybody hitting hormonal stages and fighting and getting angry and that stuff's like, oh, okay, this is new, never experienced this. And then high school and stuff getting worse, more drama spreading and harder classes, and then college and stuff like that. And over the years, it's just gotten worse. Pew-pews going to school and that causing tragedies and that hurting people. And one kid getting called a certain term or analogy, and he just goes home and doesn't come back to school ever. He just stays home and decides to become an angel. And it hurts. It's bothering because nobody's like, there's people that try and stop this stuff, but a lot of them only try to a certain extent. And then when they see it's like, oh, okay, you're not willing to try, I'm just going to dip. And that's, the hope that they did see in you is now gone because you gave up. And hope is most of the stuff that these people have left. I don't want to mean like these people as y'all are in a group, but when somebody hits the shadows, and they've lost and felt alone and thrown away, the last thing they have is hope and pride and faith. And when that stuff is taken from them and you're not willing to help them get it back, and they're not willing to go and get it back, then most of the time, this is what happens. They unalive and they just decide to try again in another life or a different way, and it hurts.
Hope is one of the things that I don't think we talk about enough. I think hope is something that when your life is thrown into nothing but tragedy, malevolence, and chaos, it's the thing that's going to pull you through. And to those people who are lost, empty, broken, and having just the worst mental illness battles, it feels as though there's no hope left. And that's why people decide to end it all, is because they can't see a brighter future. They can't envision what life would look like without the suffering that's currently facing them right now. So to anyone who's in that spot, I just want to speak a word of encouragement to you right now that even if you can't feel it and even if you're not aware of it, you should have hope in your heart. You should cling to it because it may be the only thing you have. And to get back to Scarlett's question, I really think a big piece of that is broken homes and particularly fatherlessness. I don't think we've ever lived in a society, I don't think there's ever been a society that is more broken in the sense of a family than what we have right here, right now. And I think a lot of these kids are growing up in environments where they're not being raised properly. I mean, one parent can only do so much. And yes, there are parents out there who do an absolute phenomenal job, but to do it alone is almost unbearable. And what I find is kids who grow up in families who only have one parent, particularly without a father, across the board, their numbers are worse. They have a higher incarceration rate. They have a higher dropout rate out of high school. They have a higher younger death rate due to mental health issues. And the list goes on and on and on. So if I could point to any singular thing, I would have that be fatherlessness.
And it's also the fact of like nowadays in this world it's filled with so much hatred and just like ugliness as well. There's so much negativity. It's like, oh, you want to be this, you want to turn into that, you want to dress like this, you want to act like that. It's just so much hatred over the board. At the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all the same species. We're all the same kind of people. Everybody has their own mental stuff, and everybody takes pain. Everybody feels pain. There may be bigger knives, bigger wounds, bigger injuries, or scars that everybody feels, and you may bleed a little different than somebody else, but everybody feels pain, and that's something that a lot of people don't consider, especially when somebody's like, you don't know what I'm going through. You're right. I don't. Only you do, but I know what I'm going through, and I know the pain that you're going through, but I don't know exactly what you're dealing with. But to add on, I have an analogy for those of you who are listening, and if you are having a hard time, power through it. I know you have the power. I know you have the strength to do so, but just a friendly knowledge, if you're in between a rock and a hard place, that's a good thing. Snakes shed their skin between rocks and hard places and in difficult situations. Snakes shed their skin. This is an analogy to mean if you're in a rock and a hard place, that means you can power through, and this shows you can grow. If you can get out of it and you can shed your skin of what you previously were, you can grow and be something beautiful and new and healthy and just go and be the best you can be. Because the point of it is everybody can reach a star. It's just the point of how far are you willing to travel to get the star you want.
Yeah. And do you have something to add to that, Scar?
Well, I was going to go bounce off of what you said with broken families. That's why we see so many people out on the internet, so many kids on VR chat. They're looking for a sense of a connection, and you got in VR chat, you have people forming families. You have young adults adopting young kids into their family and giving them advice and helping them through any turmoil that they might be going through, which I think is absolutely amazing. I mean, at least they're coming across someone who can help, but then again, on the other side of the coin, they might come across someone who would take advantage of them. But like, their kids are seeking help from the internet, and that can be good or bad depending on where they're looking, which me personally, I think it should come from IRL friends and family.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask that you queue up the next question here as I bring this up, but like, one of the best things I found in VR chat, arguably the best thing I've found, are VR chat families. It's all too common that kids are growing up without parents as guidance, and the most beautiful thing I've seen emerge from this game is having communities of people, particularly those of the older crowd, who are adopting these younger kids who aren't getting the supervision they need, who are getting too much neglect. And even if it's in just the smallest pieces, making sure the kid does their homework right, helping the kid through some type of like social issue with like friends or like a relationship, seeing that happen, even just like making sure that they're surrounding themselves with like good influences in the game. That adoption and those families that are forming here in this virtual world just brings such a light to my heart. And every time I've had conversations with you guys in the chat or people in the comments talking about it, there's just a different light about it. You know, typically VR chat is so bogged down with drama this, drama that, gossip over here, this person said this, that we don't appreciate some of the value that comes from it. And the culmination of these families coming together and helping parent these kids in what ways we can, I think is one of the most beautiful things I've seen emerge from this game.
Mm-hmm. So to kind of go bouncing off of what Blood said about the spreading positivity, I wanted to ask y'all, why, when it comes to content creation, either whether it be YouTube, Twitch, and like anywhere, why does spilling the tea get more attention, more views? Why do y'all think that happens?
It's mainly because of the negativity. I mean, everything on newscasts and TV is hatred and negative, and you know, it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps growing as well. And everybody finds it interesting, and I don't like it. It's dumb. Like, oh, did you hear what Stacy said? No, I didn't care at first, but what did Stacy say? Like, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. First, it's gonna grow, and then it's gonna spread, and then it's gonna engulf, and then people are gonna get hurt, and stuff's gonna get damaged, whether it be friendship, relationships, families. You know, you can't keep fueling the fire when you don't know why the fire started in the first place. And even if so, like, it's like a campfire. You can only fuel it to a certain point when you need to stop and you need to put it out so that everybody can stay safe and nobody gets truly burned.
And like,
but
Blood
nobody
was
knows
there,
nowadays.
And like Blood was saying there, this is kind of how it's been since the dawn of time. We really see it emerge with like newspaper media and now the internet. But whatever can invoke a reaction out of you is what the media is going to tend towards. And what seems to be the most visceral, just from a normal standsuit, are these types of salacious stories, whether it's some famous person being brought down or whether it's somebody doing something they're not supposed to and that information being spread when it shouldn't. Like, those types of behaviors and actions have always invoked negative emotions, and that's what these types of algorithms are being formed on. So that's not assisting anybody at all. But ultimately, what I want to say on an individual level is this. Something I've seen a lot here in VR chat, which I wasn't the case, is people spilling private DMs so loosely. One thing I would really wish for everybody listening to this right now is if somebody's messaging you in private, that you keep it that way. That you actually go as far as you can to make sure that those messages don't get out. That person's talking to you in the hopes, in the confidence that you're not going to be spreading that information elsewhere. Yet all too commonly, I see that being the case. What do you think, Scar?
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. Like, it destroys communities, it destroys friendships, it destroys a lot of things. Like calling someone out, spreading the tea. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a TikToker out there I can't remember his name, but his whole thing is that spilling the tea on somebody. I'm I'm a sucker for it too, and I hate that I'm a sucker for it, but it's entertaining, and I hate that. One thing I wish we could do more is...
I'm going to pause you real quick, Scar. Y'all need to calm down in the chat. It's actually annoying me because I'm watching all of this of what's happening while they're talking, and it's annoying. It's actually starting to make me a little angry and irritated. First off, my girlfriend who's in the chat, please calm down. Nobody's going to do anything. Nobody's going to talk to me in that way. I get you're protective, but this isn't the time frame. And the one that's arguing with her, don't call her a pick-me girl. That's rude and disrespectful, and I don't like the fact that you're doing that to the woman that I love. So please calm down and don't start this stuff in the chat when we're talking about something deeply serious to what's caused in our hearts and how we feel. Because it's about everybody, and I don't want something in this chat to start out and be, you're a pick-me, no, you're a pick-me. I don't need that because that's going to be about y'all, and then it's just going to start a whole thing in the chat. We don't need that right now.
Yeah.
So please calm down. Please knock it off. Just enjoy the stream.
And we got an opportunity to rise above that and be better than that. And I just hope everybody listening right now can do this. And Scar really pushed this in me, and I'm so glad she's here for it. She started giving me the idea of having a positive mental attitude and how important it is that we as individuals kind of like team up together to start working towards bettering one another. And that can start right here in the chat. So Scar. I wasn't reading it. I don't know what happened back and forth, but let's rise above that. Not just here in the chat, but in all the conversations we have in this game and with this community. Like, what were you saying, Scar? Let's let you pick up.
No, I was just going to move on to the next question.
All right.
Where's it at? I just lost it. My bad.
But yeah,
just
thank y'all for being here.
Just drop the boyfriend stuff. I can see it's still going on. just drop it. Just end it. Thank you, babe, for stopping. I appreciate that, but don't throw that you should too out there. That's not needed. And them messaging afterwards, and this isn't needed right now. We're all trying to be calm and happy, and we're all trying to have a good vibe right now.
Yeah, the best thing to do, golden rule, everybody. We all know it. We've heard it a million times. Do unto others what you want done unto yourself.
Yeah, but nobody really follows that anymore, which is another bad part of the community and the world nowadays, is everybody just wants to be treated a specific way and not treat others that way.
Another question we can get into is COVID part of the issue why so many unalivings has been happening in the most recent years? Is that part of the reason? Or is that what y'all think part of the reason is?
I would say it could be a cause of some of them.
It certainly spiked. Yeah, it didn't help.
It really did. I would say if I went through the part of dealing with COVID, being stuck at home, not being able to see friends or family, and hearing about family losing their life to COVID and leaving me behind, I would feel obligated and sad and depressed. I would hit that point, indeed. There's a lot of my family that I do indeed dislike at times, but I still love them. I still care. I still want to be there and everything, and I still will miss them when they go. So I can see that being a reason that a lot of people have joined them in a way of saying, out of missing, and as I've lost everything, there's nothing left here. They were a main supporter of mine. They helped me get through these tough times. I can't do it without them type stuff. Like, a lot of my friends had lost their grandpas and grandmas and cousins and stuff to this stuff and to COVID. And the main thing that I keep hearing is, like, they were my main supporter. They helped me through my tough times. They helped me into this hobby. I lost an uncle a couple years back. He was the reason that I got into playing guitar and writing songs and making lyrics and poems and stuff. And I rarely do it anymore because I just don't have the enthusiasm or the energy to do it. Because anytime I do, I think of him and it makes me sad. So I understand that part. But yeah, I would say at least to an extent that it did boost the rise of it a little bit. And it's sad to think of that, but that's the world nowadays.
Two primary ways to get positive emotion, and that is social interaction and goal orientation. So this is really important, particularly with anyone who has depression. So one is goal orientation, and that's like setting a goal for yourself and working towards it. That's the primary driver of positive feelings, feel goods. The second one is social interaction. And one thing COVID did is it isolated a lot of people, particularly those who are already prone to isolation. So in many ways, it really hurt those who needed it most. In the same way that the disease itself was affecting the people who had the weakest immune systems. And I think because of that, we saw such a spike in the overall rates around that point. And those effects are still lingering today. I don't know about you two, but like I find myself so much more locked in my house still. Like so much of my life is no longer going out like it used to be. Have you guys felt something similar?
I have.
Oh yeah, no, I've changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely more of an isolated person now, but it's also because of what COVID did to my town. It didn't do anything bad, shut down a couple stores, so what? But it also brought out the truth from people. Like, in my spare time of COVID, I would get on here. I would make some new friends, I'd meet some new people. We were all locked in our house. We had nothing better to do. Come in here and meet some new people, but I can also see other people doing that too. And coming in here and meeting bad people. And people that made it worse and made their mental state go even further down the drain, which could, like I said, another booster for this. This game is a booster for taking yourself, and it is sad to think about that because there's also people on here that like to help, like us and me and Theo and Scar and a bunch of other people in the server. We care. Everybody in my server, they know I care. I no matter what they go through, and I tell them straight up. I don't sugarcoat anything. If they're messing up, I tell them exactly what they're doing. And as much as they don't want to hear me say it in that specific way, and they want it sugarcoated, I'm not going to do that because I see it as lying to them. If I sugarcoat everything, then I'm not giving them my honest feelings on it. But people here, they'd sugarcoat it, and they'd go behind people's backs, and they'd spread the tea, and they'd spill the drama, and they'd throw it all over the place, and it made a lot of people here look fake. So a lot of the people that I used to hang out with, I think out of everybody of my high school, around 2,000 people that I used to talk to and be friendly with, before I shipped out, I was good friends with about 30 people, like really good best friends with 30 people. I've got 2 in this town now because of COVID. I only have 2 out of the other 28 were fake, and it just, they're not garbage people, but whenever COVID hit, they just decided, hey, let's throw him under the bus. And the other 2 were the ones that pulled me out from under it before I got ran over. So it's much more helpful than anything else to know who's...
Yeah, here's something that I find really beautiful about VR chat. It gives you the opportunity to have all of these new social interactions. I don't know about you guys, but this game had made me feel like a kid on the playground in a way that I hadn't since I was a little kid. And that's the ability to go up and start a conversation with anybody. It's like the walls are down that you don't have in real life, because in your normal day-to-day, you only get so many opportunities to like meet somebody new. But in this game, you could seriously hop from public world to public world, and it gives you that option, that flexibility, and that freedom to meet all of these unique and diverse people with all of these different backgrounds, some of which you're going to jive with better than others. So one cool thing about this game is the ability to have those social interactions.
I'm going to pop you off right here. The fact that I'm saying this a third time and Scarlet has typed in chat to knock it off is annoying because you've got 2 gifters. One of them is my girlfriend, and the other one is the other one starting stuff. And my girlfriend has knocked it off. Thank you again for that. Now the other one is saying that you're being hated for nothing, but you keep talking about the stuff that I said to drop and have a good attitude about. That's not nothing. You're being hated because you keep bringing up stuff that doesn't want to be brought up right now. That's why I'm getting on you about it, because it's ruining the vibe of the awareness. It's ruining the cool, chill, hangout vibe, and it's. I know it's bothering me, and I know it's pissing off Theo because it's his stream and he wants to do this stuff, and I have to keep cutting him off because he gets in the rant, and me and Scarlet are noticing this stuff. And you're ruining a vibe. That's what we're getting on you for. You're not doing nothing.
Here's what I'm going to do.
A vibe.
I'm going to ask a question to all you, and I want your input on this. Whatever rebuttal you have, put it down. Answer this question for me. When you have somebody who you know is going through a lot of mental health issues, going through depression, and is really considering about ending it all, how can you help that person? How can you help your friend? That's one of the questions we have here. And I think that's a really good thing to talk about. How can you help somebody who's going through the worst of these mental issues?
honestly, like the littlest gesture, just reaching out, asking a little hello may brighten their day, asking how their day was, because they might feel like that no one cares for them. I'm all by myself. Just a simple reaching out, being like, hey, how you doing? Do you want to play some games today, or do you want to hang out today? Like, little things like that could mean so much for that person, and asking, giving them a chance to rant about what they're going through, because they may be extremely stressed out. Giving them a chance to rant and be open-minded and just listening to them, that helps. It's funny because I'm gonna keep bringing up my mom. My mom is that kind of person for me. I can just rant to her all day and she will listen. And there are times like she doesn't give me her opinions in anything. She just listens, and then like I'll ask if you want an opinion, but like just listening to someone can help.
I honestly believe hope is the best thing you can share with them. I mean, it's up to the individual
100%.
themselves to pull them out of the darkness that they're in, and you can't take that burden upon you. But one thing you can give them when they're in their darkest, when they feel as though they have nothing, if you can give them hope, that's something beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the other
it's also
side
the
of
positivity as well, though. Throwing hope and positivity together. The amount of people that come on here and just immediately throw you in a fire. And just run up to you and a mirror dweller, don't got no friends. You know what I do? I do the simplest thing. I turn around, I was like, are you doing all right? Are you okay? Are you having a bad day? Because most of the time, people that take it out on others are just having a bad day, bad week, or, they've never had somebody that's cared, so they just take it out and hide it with anger or hatred. And that's not good, because that's what we're being taught with nowadays. And that's what kids are growing up with. Like, oh, you like Joseph? Well, he took my lollipop. Oh, I hate Joseph now. Good. Join my group. We all hate Joseph. We're all gonna hate that one dude and just ruin him, and that'll break Joseph. That he will slowly corrode inside and just shut down, and he'll hate everything. It's like, oh yeah, no, a lot of people hated me for stuff I did in the past, and that, and it never loses, because then it could just be, oh, he's taking more stuff. And by high school, he could just be known as a thief, and nobody trusts him. Nobody wants to be his friend or anything like that. And that's a power of the hatred and the negativity of now versus the hope and positivity, because it's like, oh, did you hear what Joseph did? No, what's up? Oh, he took a lollipop. You sure? You sure? Did you talk to him about it? Like having hope and positivity in it can be so much better. I don't know if either one of you read about this. It's going to go kind of off topic, but also with the negativity and stuff. There was a newspaper before about these girls earlier in their schooling years. They had said that one kid had done stuff and stuff had happened that had given them trauma. And that kid got locked up and was in jail for years. When he finally got out, like 6-7 years later, when he finally got out, they admitted that it was all a joke, and that they just completely threw it out there just out of hatred because they thought he was ugly. And it ruined his life because everybody believed him, or believed them over him, and he had no say in it. And it's just the hatred and negativity. Oh, my dogs are going nuts at my feet. You're good.
Mm-hmm. Now, another thing that I want to add, like on the other side of the coin, like you can reach out to people, but also when you're the person reaching out, don't overload yourself. Don't take their problems upon you. This happens to me. I love my friends. I care, but unfortunately, there are times I get a little too involved, and I start worrying about them. I start stressing out, and that's just the one thing in my head. And unfortunately, that gets me into a negative place. So try not to, and I know, I understand it's hard, but try not to put their burdens on yourself. One thing I do want to ask chat today, by the end of this stream, y'all should reach out to at least 3 friends of yours that you haven't talked to in a long time, and just ask them how they're doing. How are they doing? Simplest thing.
Also, you want to change your life? Here's how to change your life in a really small way. Every day, give a different person a genuine compliment. Something that they do that you genuinely enjoy. One person every single day. That's not hard. Mm-hmm. That takes 5 seconds. Find one person.
If you do it in person, you see their smile. I promise you, if it's a genuine, like, that made my day smile, your heart will beat. You will feel warm and happy inside. No matter how cold and brooding you are, you'll be like, wow. I just did that.
Yeah,
and that means something to them, and it helps a lot.
It's
a lot more than you think.
Only going to change them, it's going to change you as well. You're going to be the person
who is your mindset,
spreading that positivity in the world, and it's going to change how you think and operate as you move forward in your life. It's honestly a net good all around.
Which is why I love PMA, positive mental attitude. I love that.
100%.
But yeah, back to what Scarlet was saying. Don't overload yourself. Like, everything has a certain point. Your phone has a max point of storage for all your memes and TikToks and videos and photos. Your Discord has a certain limit to how much you can send and message. Your brain has a certain limit to everything you know. At a certain point, you start forgetting stuff, and you have to relearn. You're like, oh, deja vu. I know that I used to know this all the time, and then it starts picking back up. There's so much weight an ant can lift. The fact of an ant can lift 10 to 100 times its body weight and carry it for hundreds of meters all the way back across the yard back to its home. But it doesn't lift the entire thing because it knows what it can and can't handle. So you can be there for somebody, and you can be there and be helpful and positive and loving and caring. But you got to also know. My draw's going in and out. I just noticed this. You've got to know what your limit is.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to help a whole black cat instance, you can't. I'll be honest, you really can't, because somebody's going to have a problem with you helping somebody else.
And here's the rule when helping somebody who's going through a trying time. It's very similar to somebody who is drowning. Lifeguards are taught it's their responsibility to help that individual as far as they're not putting the lifeguard's life in danger. So they're going to go and try to help somebody who's drowning. But if that person's flailing and freaking out and not being able to control themselves, the lifeguard actually won't get any closer. Their job is to make sure that their life isn't in danger first, and then it's to help the person who's drowning. And it's a really good analogy.
It's the same thing
it's
with
a
a
really
lot of
good
first
parallel.
responders.
Yeah, with like people who are going through tough mental times. Like, it would be your responsibility to help them as you can, but if it's starting to wear on you, if it's starting to take pieces from you, that's when you really got to consider, okay, is this something I should pursue? Is this still healthy for me?
It's okay to take a step back and be like, I need a breather. It's completely okay. We're all human. Everyone needs a break. So you need to know when your limits are and know when to step back. I understand, like, it's hard and you might be young, but also being surrounded by a group of friends or family, surround yourself by positivity, and they will also help you through it. They will also tell you, it's like, hey, you're getting too involved. You might want to step back. You might want to take a break. So always surround yourself with positivity.
Mm-hmm. And Scarlet,
you don't want to spiral with them. You like not saying that spiraling's a bad thing. It is tough, mental states and keeping yourself in check. I have my own problems. Everybody does. But if you start to spiral with them, you're just going to spiral faster, and it's not going to help either one of you out. So you have to keep your distance while being there for them. Because if you just grab onto their hand as much as it'll help them, be like, oh my God, I got support, they're going to drag you underwater with them. If they're getting dragged by a whirlpool, and then you're just going to spiral down into a current. And then at that point, you're both going to split. Anyways, you're not going to keep hold of one another and swim up together. You're both going to split and swim as hard as you can to get back to where you were, to the surface on your own. And, you know, that's something as well, is like, there's only so far somebody will help you until they have to split off to help themselves.
Yeah.
Or until you have to do it yourself.
On a point that Scarlet was making earlier, you don't know what it'll take to have somebody go from the depths to bring them back to where they need to be, to go get help. It could be the smallest of things. Two of the most meaningful conversations I ever had in my life were me just thinking, oh, I know my friend over here has been going through a hard time. I'm going to give him a call. And the thing was, in these instances, those two friends were on the verge of ending it all themselves. I had no idea. I just thought they were going through a rough time. Hey, I'm going to go give them a phone call, see how they're doing. I'd call them up. Hey, man, just been thinking about you. How you been? They would break down into tears and start crying and tell me their story and tell me what they're going through. And to me, it was just a small little conversation. It was just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go check in on this person. To them, that was the lifeline they needed to go get help. So one thing I want you to know is it could be the smallest of things to save somebody. Sometimes that's all it takes.
All right, I'm going to jump into the next question. This isn't really for the awareness, but something I've been seeing quite often, and this is with the VRChat TikTok community. I've seen a lot of content creators quit content creating because of drama.
Ooh.
I've known at least 3 or 4. So what are your thoughts into that?
100% drama. It's a whole thing as well, and it's loss of interest. Like if you're dancing, like let's say you're taking dance lessons, break dancing on the corner and all that, and you're just going and going and going and going and just making money. People are throwing change, dollars. People are cheering, videotaping. You're getting sent around. Everybody's finding out about you. It's great. You get publicity. You get new audience. You get more people, more eyes. Then let's say you keep doing the same thing. People start getting bored of it. They get bothered by it. They start telling you you're trash, you're terrible, you're bad. So and so does it better. So and so dances better. So and so makes more money. And with so much hate and negativity on your shoulders, eventually you're not going to want to stand up. You're just going to want to sit there and let it pile up and then lay down eventually, and it's just going to cover you. And that's why so many people, quit with it as well. Is the negativity just makes them lose interest, makes them not want to do it anymore. It's like, okay, I have this positive people, this person and this person and this person, but there's these tens and hundreds and 20s of just people that just hate on me and trash talk the comments and stuff like that. Like, there's so many, TikToks that I see out there that is like just VR and people in general, just humans doing their very best to entertain and make people happy, and the comments are turned off, and you'll go in their stuff and scroll further back, and it's on, and the first like 4 to 20 to 30 are just hatred, and the next video right after that is just comments off. That's a smart thing, but you shouldn't have to do that. To turn off the comments so you don't get pinned with the hatred and the negativity, and you can do what you want to do with happiness and love. Like, that's great, but you shouldn't have to do that. There should never be that much hatred to make somebody quit on their dreams and their hobbies and what they have fun to do, because that just hurts.
So I'm working on a couple rules myself on what it takes to be a content creator. I haven't fully fleshed these out, but here's something rough that I've been working on. The number one rule when it comes to content creating, make something that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy the process, that's all that matters. Don't care about the likes. Don't care about the views. Enjoy what you do. That way it's not going to burn you out. The second thing, surround yourself with good people. If you got a good community of friends who are positive and encouraging you in your work, that's what you're looking for. If you're in a toxic environment, you're going to feel that, and it's going to be weighing on your mental health, and that's where a lot of that drama and gossip really starts to get kicked up. So if you're surrounding yourself with those people, get out immediately and find yourself a good group. Rule number 3 is if people are hating on you, you got to check yourself. Is it something morally that you need to change? Are you making a wrong decision in there? Is there a way you could be bettering yourself for that? Morally, if you're okay, rule number 4, don't give a fuck about what people say about you. No matter what you do, you are always going to have haters. And if you've done a moral check and you're like, all right, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here, and you can say that in confidence, rule number 4, don't give a fuck.
Hey,
No, you're right.
If you got haters, I'll be honest, everybody that you hear my southern drawl right now, be serious about that. Don't give a shit. Like, honest point, the more haters, the better. And I'll tell you why. Because haters are soil, and you're the plant. The more soil, the more nutrients, the higher you grow, and the better you feel, and the healthier you are. So let them be haters, and you can grow better than they ever said you could, and show them. Show them the amazing person you are. Show them that nobody holds you down. You decide what you want to do and what you want to be. You be you. You be the best you, and let them sit in the darkness and hate on you, because that'll just make you grow higher.
As long as you love what you do, as long as you love your job, and you are happy, and you're making other people happy, even if it's like a small handful of people, that handful of people, you are brightening up their day. They may swinging back into the awareness, seeing having them see your videos might have saved their life, might have put a smile on their face when they were having a horrible day. Some videos, it changed people. I will point out, Light had a question.
Yeah, they're saying here, how do I do rule number 2? Rule number 2 was surround yourself with good content creators, with good people. Don't be surrounded by people who are toxic and like drama ridden. So how would you two go about doing that in a game like VR Chat?
Experiment. Like, it's kind of like an experiment.
I have a server.
Talk to people.
I have a whole server of it's called Blood's Bar. What I do is everybody just kind of it's a weird concept, but it's like the Star Wars community. I run the server. I go to a bar world like Barheim or Midnight Bar, and I have people come in there and they bartend, make drinks, serve people, hear their stories, get to know them a bit. If they join the server, my server is completely positive. Like we have Pokemon in there. I'm 20. We have Pokemon in that server. And me and my VR kids, we fight over the Pokemon. And we get a little riled because they have a lot of fun doing it, and I have fun. And I have, a dude in there, I call him Peck, but he's like my VR dad. He gives me a lot of advice. He's almost 40, and he helps me out because he has more experience than I do, and the whole server is just positivity. Yeah, we got art in there. People throw their art in there, straight up love, throw their songs, poems, their VR chat pictures, their real-life pictures. It's just all love in that server. And that's something you want to go for as well, is you want somebody that they're going to be real when they need to be real, and they're going to be there when they need to be there, but they're not going to just throw toxicity and trash on you when you don't need it there. Like, if you need some soil, you need some hate to grow a bit more, some darker light to grow higher, sure, they're going to be there to throw it on you. But otherwise, they're going to shine brighter than the sun in your life and just help you fly the best you can.
What was that Discord name again? Can you say it again? What was that?
It's called the Blood Bar.
And where can I find it?
It's in my bio right now. I have a link in my bio, but I can throw it in my VR chat as well. If you guys need some positivity, you need some friends, some love. My server is completely open. You can join anytime, make some new people. Any negativity is immediately thrown out. Like, I will not have any negativity in that server. It brings too much darkness and dark clouds, and I don't like it.
I have the same thing going on my server, to be honest. Pure positivity, everyone having time. And mine's in my link tree in my bio. And then I saw this earlier. I think Ellis said it. I'm forgive me if I'm wrong, but Theo has created the Game Night Discord server for content creators, and it's become a safe space for many people. So that positivity everywhere. I mean, I think this morning we were spreading, like, spamming emotes. That was funny. I loved it.
Yeah, mine is for content creators only. So you got to be making something, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube. Mine's kind of specifically for that group. But Scarlet, what was your Discord again? Where can they find it?
Mine is called the Raven's Loft. It is in my link tree in my TikTok bio, or it's my link tree. I have it everywhere. But it's called the Raven's Loft. A bunch of my close friends in there, and we just spread positivity. Sometimes a little mayhem, but you can have fun, cause mayhem, and still be positive about it.
So, Light, here's what I would recommend with your
Blood,
question. Yeah?
No, I was going to say, just like Blood, I don't tolerate negativity in my server.
Yeah. So, Light, here's what I would recommend to answer your question directly. Boom, hit that server. Boom, hit that server. If you're looking elsewhere, go and meet new people. Meet as many new people as possible. A lot of them are going to be duds and groups you don't want to be associated with. However, you're going to find gems out there, which are genuinely good communities. Go out to Publix as much as you can. Go on the internet and check out different Discord groups with similar interests as you. Those groups are out there, but you got to put in the effort to find them.
Experiment. Another thing I want to say with that too is if you meet somebody and be like, oh, I don't, it's the he said, she said, don't go based off what other people are saying about a group of people or a group of content creators. Make your own judgment. Go meet them. Make your own judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my arm went out there for a second. If you want to join my server, my Discord is in my TikTok bio. Add me, send me a message. Just be like, hey, heard about the Blood Bar? I'll invite you right off. You'll meet tons of people. You meet my VR kids. You meet my girl. You meet my brothers, my sisters, my dad. Everybody in there is somewhat, shape, or form somebody that I care deeply about and that I'm there for. If you need me at any given time and you're in my server or just one of my friends on Discord, I'll be there. You can text me for the dumbest reasons, like, hey, does hot sauce work on noodles? I'll be like, hell yeah, man, try something new. Anything you need, you shoot me a text, I'll answer.
No.
It does sometimes. It depends on what you do. Like, I'm always there. You just gotta be there, and that's like the main way that I support everybody that I can is I'm always there for no apparent reason, nothing in return. I don't want nothing in return. I don't want your money. I don't want you. All I ask, you be my friend, I'll be yours, and by me being your friend, I'm there no matter what. Even if you hate me a month, 2 months down the line, and you text me, hey, blood, I'm having a really bad day. Hell, man, I'm at work, but let's talk about it. I'm here. You want to pop in a call? I'll call you up. Let's go. I got you. Like, it doesn't. I'm there. I'm here to help. I'm here to be positive. I'm here to help you be better. Got to spread positivity. There's too much negativity in the world. Got to spread some good stuff.
And that's what we're here for.
We need more people like that out there.
And that's what we're building right now. Everyone who wants to make VR chat a better place, this is a call to action right now. We are calling you. We want you. We want you to be part of this community. We want to be banding together to show the world, to show VR chat that we're more than just drama, that we're more than just petty arguments and squabbles, that we could be a force for good if we all start working together.
Really quick, I want to go to Ellis. Ellis asked about minors in VR chat. What are our thoughts about minors in VR?
Oh. Fondly enough, this is the conversation that got Theo to like me and got me in the server, is what us talking about this type of stuff. So, I had mentioned it earlier as well the other day. There was a situation a couple weeks back, week and a half or so, where a couple minors, the clubs, the thing with clubs coming around and being a main thing here. If you're into it, sweet. I'm not going to trash it. I'm not going to do anything. I've never been to one, never will be, unless I need to be or I want to check it out. That's just how I am. It's not something I'm into or want to look at. But there was a situation where there was a club, and there were two women. Very, very nice seeming women in the club that were minors. Now, first off, clubs, 18 plus. Most of them are meant to be 18 plus. There's dancing, naked dancing, whatever it be. Very 18 plus adult place. Some kids still get in there, and most people don't do anything about it, which is very dumb. Now, this owner did something different. I'm not going to call him out. I don't know who he is. I don't care. I'm also not going to call out the person because that's already being spread around, and I'm not going to spread more tea. But these minors went after somebody who was suspected pedophile on this game, and would do everything there. And they caught him, and they found everything out, and they had video proof, and that went around, and that ruined him and a lot of friendships. And his name is known now, and like, everybody follows and tracks his name, because even if you change your name on here, people will find out who you are, and they will figure it out and see that stuff. And why am I being bit? Bandit, can you not right now? Can you stop?
Well, I'll jump in right there. Scar, do you got something you want to say on that? Because I've been having some thoughts, but I'll let you go first.
Oh gosh, well, I do believe like there are some people. I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go with this. I'm not a fan of younger kids. When I say younger kids, kids under the age of 13, their parents handing them a headset and giving it to them, basically to babysitting. The headset is babysitting. Allowing people on the internet to basically babysit their child. I am not a fan of that. Now, I will say I have come across some kids under the age of 13 who are fantastic, beautiful people. Like, beautiful. And we had some lovely conversations. But, like, I can't say that I'm for being stricter for an age limit, and I can't say it's a hit or miss. It depends on the person, honestly.
And that goes with the VR chat adoption that Theo talked about earlier as well. One of my boys, Matt, he's in the TikTok right now. He's in the live, and he's 11, 12. And he's one of the most respectful, caring kids that I've ever met. let alone on this game, but I mean in general. And he talks to me. He comes to me for his problems, for homework, for real world stuff. What do I do here? I'm being bullied. What should I do? Literally yesterday, I taught him how to write cursive on this game, and taught him and his boyfriend how to do cursive and do that stuff, because both of them were messing up on it, and Matt didn't know it because it had been so long since he learned it. And I told him what he would need it for, and taught him about cursive, and did all this for about 45, 50 to an hour. And just stayed on to do that. And then they went off and did their own thing, and I got off, and he texts me, and he catches Pokemon and gets mad when I take his favorite Pokemon, and it's a whole thing. But, like, there are those kids. There are ones that are problematic. There's always going to be a problematic child. But, Matt and AJ and Buck and Proto, all these people that I have in my bio that I see as my boys, and Eclipse. She's my daughter in this game. They're all very loved, respected, caring kids, and they're great. They're amazing. I love them to bits. They're very respectful. They're very caring. If I need them at any point, they're the first ones to join the instance. I'm like, hey, something's going on. They're here. They're ready. They're ready to fight. Weirdly enough, they're just like, nobody messes with Southern blood, Dad. It's just they're there and ready. And at the same time, they focus on school. They take time for themselves. And I'm the one that tells them to do so. Matt, a week or so ago, he was like, I'm, floored with homework and school stressing me out and all this stuff. It's like, well, don't get on. Take your time. Focus on that. Figure stuff out. When you're calm and ready, you can come back. And, he's doing a birthday party sleepover, I think, today and tomorrow, and having fun with it because it was his birthday a few days ago. And he's doing real well. He's very respectful, very caring, and I love the kid. He's amazing.
You said that was
kids are.
You said
And
that
a
was
lot
Matt?
of people that I meet are. Matt. His TikTok is Lights Out. That's the one that asked you about the number Rule 2.
Yo, shout out Matt. Shout out Light. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for being a good influence. I hope you keep that up, kid. I'm looking forward to meeting you one day. 100%. One thing I wanted to add on to was this. Whether you agree with it or not, the current landscape of VR chat is that kids are here. 13 plus, but we all know that some kids younger than that are going to be here. And it's a complicated issue. There's a bunch of different moving pieces to it, and there's not one easy end-all be-all solution. Should we police? How does that look like? How are the restraints we're going to put in place going to be not as bad as just having the kids here in general? And despite all that, as an individual, I can't see a way for me to solve this problem. The only thing I can do is my best with the local community around me. So I'm going to call all of you older people who play this game, all of you parents, all you 20-somethings. If you know kids in this game, do your best to look out for them. Adopt them if you can. Make sure they're not getting into things they're not supposed to, and kind of be that guiding force in their life. Odds are if they're strapping one of these things to their head, they don't have the best parental supervision, and they're going to need every hand that they can get to help out. So because of that, I just ask, hey, let's come around these kids as a community. Let's be the parents that they're lacking, and let's build the type of environment that's going to make this place wonderful.
Try to be the type of parent or type of person you needed when you were growing up.
100%.
Yeah, and Matt just said something in the chat. He said, I appreciate the squeakers in VR chat. If you can get used to them, they are very kind. Which is true. Them being that young, they haven't been thrown through the negativity yet. They're not hateful. They're just like, wow, brand new world.
I'm not gonna lie.
And they're just here.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I love spreading chaos with them. All getting into a Mimi avatar and just causing mayhem. That's when I have fun.
Yes.
It is the funnest thing. The main pride that I do, and I think my girlfriend has done it as well. I play pool on here and in real life. We both do. And there's so many of my friends that don't know the lingo or anything like that. And the fact that, like, to teach kids, like I taught Matt and AJ and all of them how to play pool on the game and taught them the way and certain hits and all that and point system. But I also taught some adults as well that have never played it on here. And just to hear them and watch them grow, like it's awesome. It's an amazing feeling to teach them something and then watch them grow. Like teaching Matt and his boyfriend the other day cursive, and his boyfriend picked up on it really good, really well. And, you know, that made me happy. I've met the kid a couple times, and he's just doing well and doing great. And he's doing it with a smile on his face, and you can hear it, that he's got a smile on the way he talks. And it helps. It's heartwarming. And, like, I get questioned a lot of times as well, with, like I've been saying, Matt and his boyfriend. Yeah, I support it. I don't have any hatred towards any of that, which a lot of people do. Which is this is their world to come in and show that hatred, because there's no law. There's no repercussions for the most part. You can come in, say whatever you want. What's gonna happen? You're gonna get banned. You make a new account, do it all over again. Come on. Why?
And that's why we got to be better, and that's why we got to step up. But that being said, we just put in an hour and a half. Scar, I got to thank you so much. Blood Monkey, got to thank you too. Why don't you all plug your Discords one more time? Let them know it from the top.
You. Yeah,
you can follow me on
chat.
I mean, that probably helped too. No, you can find most of my stuff in my link tree in my bio on TikTok, Scarlet_Raven_VR. I need to change that because that's a lot. That's where you can find me.
I just threw my
Also,
Discord in the chat. Blood Monkey, #8557. If you want to join my server, have some people to love and care about you, you got it. Catch some Pokemon. We've got nothing better to do.
Building positive communities. That's what we're all about. Scarlet Raven, TikTok. Theo, you know me. Give me the shares. Give me the likes. You know how it is. Blood Monkey, he's got his Discord running. Maybe he's going to be making content soon. I hope so. This man is a riot. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate all of you being here, and I hope y'all have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Now I get a walk off camera. Woo!
I'm stuck in place.
Awesome job. This is Theo's third podcast. Amazing.